Hello everybody, and today I will be talking about the team archetypes that can be found in Limbus company and where I would put them on a tier list. So, starting off, we have Burn. Burn, I would say, is a pretty good status effect. It can, it's easy to build up potency on it and count as well because you have Dawnclear and Honglu for count, and all the other units can inflict a very good amount of potency, so you'll get to 99 burn pretty quickly. But the problem with burn is that you're hard capped by the cap of every potency has, which is 99. But you can increase that with Dark Flame, and if the enemy is Pride weak, they'll be taking double damage from Dark Flame as well. So I'd say it's a pretty alright status effect. It's a middling pack of the... It's in the middle of all these status effects. Yes. Now, moving on to Bleed. Bleed is an interesting case. Bleed depends on the enemy having a lot of coins to proc Bleed, right? And not being staggered as well. But it does do true damage, and the ring IDs are crazy. And Ring Otis applies a lot of Bleed. Sanguine Desire does not reduce bleed count if you use it in the dashboard. And I think, to my knowledge, stacking bleed potency shouldn't be too hard, because bleed before was kind of needing more count application, but now we have the ring IDs and they do that, and they do a lot of damage as well. So I would say bleed is around the same tier as burn, just because that for bleed to be doing damage, you need to rely on the enemy having a lot of coins, like, so that no one will cry. But if the enemy doesn't have not all enemies will have coin amounts as the same coin amounts as so that no one will cry, right? So it's heavily dependent on the enemy that you're facing. Now, Tremor, the underdog of the status effects. Before all the new Tremor effects, Tremor whatever, like Tremor conversion shenanigans happening, I'd say it's a D tier, right? We can all agree on that. But with the introduction of Tremor Decay and Tremor Reverb, I'd say it's like a C tier, honestly. Like, Decay gives you more damage, and Reverb also gives you more damage, right? It's like, it's a good status effects, right? It kind of acts like Rupture, but for the Tremor Reverb to proc, you'd need Tremor Burst, which is obviously harder than just hit the enemy, right? But the effects that it gives, I'd say, are warranted to not be placed in D tier anymore. Moving on, we have Rupture. Now, I'd say Rupture, it's a pretty good status ailment. It's not like S tier because like it kind of struggles in group fights, and you need to maintain your count and potency. Well, not potency, you just need to maintain your count, which is hard kinda, because every time you hit an enemy with Rupture, their count decreases by 1. And there's not really a rhyme shank for Rupture, right? But if there was, Rupture would be absolutely broken. It would go on S, but Rupture does not have a rhyme shank, so it goes in A. Now, we have Sinking. Sinking, I'd say, like, Sinking and Rupture are kind of interchangeable right here, right? In abnormality fights, they kinda interact the same way, but Rupture deals true damage, which in my opinion is better than having the chance of dealing double damage, because that double damage could also turn into half damage on certain enemies, right? But for human fights, or with fights with SP mechanics, Gloom is just, I'd say Gloom is better, if I can move it. I'd say Gloom is better in that scenario because you can cheese a lot of fights with it. Like, Project Moon knows that you can cheese things with Gloom. That's why some bosses are basically getting shimmering now. Like, you can't change their panic types anymore. because they know that making human enemies go to negative 45 sanity is broken. But like they're honestly interchangeable, but I'd say I like dealing true damage more than dealing gloom damage per every hit. Oh yeah, and it has rhyme shank, so you know, broken. No need to worry about count, no need to worry about potency either, because rhyme shank just gives you all of that. Now, Poise is ass. I don't know how else to say it. Poise is probably the worst. No, it is the worst status effect because it's getting nothing. Like you get 0.2 more damage per 0.2 times more damage per every time you proc Poise. Yay! I mean, like, come on. Tremor can have an ceiling of 50% more damage. I think like 55% more damage with decay. Like, come on. And then it has like a budget sinking or a budget rupture as well. Like, come on. Poise just sucks. Yeah, I have nothing else to say other than yes, Poise is absolutely sad, and yeah. Like, it doesn't even have egos to help it. I guess blind obsession, but that's more so like a pride ego. Pride team ego rather than a Poise ego, right? It doesn't have anything going for it. It's just here, do more damage, a little bit more damage, and then they just release the ID. Project Moon just releases the ID like that. Like I don't want to go on Earth any further with Poise. Just know that it sucks. It's so sad. But now we have the poster effect for Limbus Company, Charge. Now, I'm probably biased because I like seeing the big funny numbers, but Charge is probably S tier. Okay, hear me out. Now, I think putting Charge above Rupture is sacrilegious, but you don't really need telepole to have Charge function if your units are uptide 4. Pre-uptide 4, you definitely need telepole to make any charge unit work, because like Dawn only gets what, like 2-3 charge gain on her skill 1, which is garbage. But now she gets 4 charge on her skill 1. Like every other charge unit can gain charge faster with uptide 4, which means that they can use their skill 3s even faster, which means that they're doing damage faster. And they're good in a general case because like it doesn't rely on the enemy doing anything. The charge doesn't go to the enemy, it goes to you, to your units. So you just build a charge team, you go into like an encounter, right? You build charge and then you nuke the enemy and then you win, right? So that's why I think Charge is the best status effect in Limbus Company. Just a good generalist option. Don't really have to think. It's kind of onga bonga, get enough charge, use a move, win, you know. And it feels good. It feels better to play than Poise, honestly. You get more numbers from Charge than from Poise, unless you're claiming their bones, but whatever, right? But yeah, that is my opinion. You are very free to disagree with me, but yeah, that's it for today. Kind of a bit rambling. I didn't want it to be like that, but I think it kind of was. But yeah. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope I can see you again next time. Bye.